Hi, writing scholars. After reading your exploratory essays, I noticed that some of us are still having a harder time with thesis statements and topic sentences. Now, this is nothing to be ashamed of. Sometimes we forget the knowledge that we gained in Comp 1 and Comp 2 and forget to transfer it to our future classes. That's okay, it happens all the time, but we need to make sure that we reach back into the back of our head and pull that into the foreground so that we can utilize it as we're writing papers this semester. With thesis statements, you want to make sure that your thesis statement shows up as the last sentence in your introductory paragraph. Having it show up in the conclusion, having it show up in the middle of the paper, or even having it show up in the first sentence of your introduction is just not as effective. You need that whole introduction to give your reader whatever background information he or she needs to make sense of your thesis, and then you want your thesis to come at the very end of that paragraph so that it signals to your reader what the paper is going to do, so that your reader knows where to find your argument. You also want to make sure that your thesis statement is made up of a claim and some reasoning. So the claim is the argument that you want to make or what you want to pursue in your paper. The reasoning is what you're going to use to prove that claim or what avenues you're going to take to explore that claim. So a good example of a a good example of a thesis statement might be, I would like to research how healthcare reform will impact the social work field because the potential for positive and negative results makes this a complex issue. And you'll notice that I started that sentence with I would like to research. For the topic proposal, that's fine. It will be a first-person paper. It's not something you want to overuse, but it will be a first-person paper, and it's okay to signal what you personally want to do. That is the genre that we're working in. So for thesis statements, last sentence in your very first paragraph, claim plus reason, right? For your topic sentences, you want to make sure that these are argument-based, that they're not fact-based, and you want to make sure that there's something that a reasonable person could disagree with you about. Now, just to review, topic sentences are the first sentence in each body paragraph. And when I say body paragraph, I mean every paragraph in your paper except your introduction and your conclusion. Okay? So the first sentence of every body paragraph should be something argument-based and something that a reasonable person could disagree with you about. They should not be fact-based sentences. Now, if you have a fact-based sentence that opens your paragraph and it's an important fact for your paper, I don't necessarily need you to cut it from your writing. You might just move it into your paragraph a little bit and make sure that you open that paragraph with something argument-based, right? So an example of a fact-based topic sentence might be, this specific reform bill was proposed by the Obama administration. That's a fact. No reasonable person is going to say, actually, it was the Clinton administration. Actually, it was Noam's. No one's going to argue with you about that. Now, that might be an important fact for you, though. So to make it an argument-based topic sentence, you might change this to say, the healthcare reform bill proposed by the Obama administration will be too expensive for small businesses. You still have that fact that it was proposed by the Obama administration, but you've added an argument. You've added something that a reasonable person could disagree with you about, the fact that it will be too expensive for small businesses. And the fact that we see this in the news so often right now with politicians and business owners and healthcare professionals arguing in favor of this bill and arguing against this bill proves to you that this is an argument. It's not a fact. It's something that a reasonable person could disagree with you about. Someone could read this statement and say, actually, I've owned a small business for many, many years. I've always paid health insurance to all of my employees, and it keeps us afloat. It keeps us consistent. I don't have to spend so much money retraining new employees because they feel stable in my institution. Someone very reasonable might disagree with that and say, actually, I've owned a business for several years and I can't afford it. The way that we siphon out or portion out our profits doesn't allow for it. A reasonable person could disagree with that and say, then you need to rethink the way that you're using your profits. When you see these kinds of like give and take back and forth between sides of a conversation, that signals to you that you have an argument. If you're just presenting a fact to get yourself into the paragraph, you need to rethink the way that you're starting that paragraph. All right, if anybody has any questions about this, please don't hesitate to email me. In the email where you found the link to this video, you'll find the sentences that I've used as examples in this video, just in case you're a more visual learner and you want to read the examples instead. So with all of that said, I'm open to answering any questions that you have, and I'm really excited to see us move forward towards the topic proposal after bringing this knowledge from Comp 1 and Comp 2 back to the foreground.